Hello, we're going to be talking again about finding exact trig values using the unit circle for radians. And over here, it's real important still is that y is equal to sine theta. Remember, x is equal to cosine theta, and y over x is your tangent theta. So one of the things that we're going to have to do is, first off, you want to pull up your unit circle. So I'm going to do that right here in a second. There's a unit circle. We're finding, on the first one, we're finding negative pi over 4. So I'm going to go right here, and notice pi over 4 is right here. So if I rotate it up this far this way, I would rotate that far down for negative pi over 4 being the same as 7 pi over 4. And I forgot which one are we trying to find here. We are trying to find, I forgot which trig function. It's cosine. We're finding cosine of that. So cosine is the letter x. So x of this negative pi over 4 is right there. It's square root of 2 over 2. The answer is just the square root of 2 over 2. All right. The next problem. 3 sine of 3 pi over 4. So I'm going to go over here, follow my circle around to 3 pi over 4. Sine's the letter y. So y at 3 pi over 4 is also what? Square root of 2 over 2. It's the positive value right there. So now we'll go back to the next one's tangent 3 pi over 4. So we can stay right there. Now tangent at 3 pi over 4, same right there, is y over x. So what I'm going to do on this particular one right here for y over x for the tangent will be the following. Take the y value, y, x. So I'm going to take square root of 2 over 2 divided by negative square root of 2 over 2. I like to write them like that because it's very easy to see. Basically, same thing. One thing that different was what? I had a positive and a negative, which means it technically is just 1 over 1, which means my answer will be negative 1. Negative 1. So the answer for this particular one will be negative 1. All right, got to run back over here. Don't have an assistant this morning. Okay. So this answer was negative 1. Let's look at cosine 2 pi over 3. So I'm going to go up here. And I don't know where I put my little laser that I just had, which is always the case. Oh, it's up there at the table. So we're doing 2 pi over 3, which is right here. I believe it was cosine, which is the letter x. The letter x right there. Let's make sure we go back here and check. It was cosine, so it was negative 1/2. Negative 1/2. All right, for the sine of 7 pi over 6. 7 pi over 6 sine. 7 pi is right here. And the sine value is y, so it will be that negative 1/2. Just negative 1/2 right there. Negative 1/2. The next one is tangent at 3 pi over 2. Okay, so 3 pi over 2 is down here. And remember, tangent is y over x. So as we have that right here, 3 pi over 2, our tangent, y over x, here's our y, here's our x, negative 1 over 0. Uh-oh, what's wrong with that? It's not possible, you can't divide by that, so the answer is undefined. The correct answer would then be what? Undefined. You can read my writing, undefined. All right, we'll go back and now do the last 3 in this particular section. Okay, so I hurry back over here. And cosine negative 5 pi over 4. Notice negative cosine and cosine negative 5 pi over 4. So I'm going to come up here. Notice if I start here, I go all the way to 5 pi over 4. I went to 2 of these and then what? 1, 2 dots. This time I'm going to go this way. 1, 2 dots. So negative 5 pi over 4 is the same as 3 pi over 4. And it's cosine. Cosine is the letter x. So the x value is just the negative square root of 2 over 2. Negative square root of 2 over 2. Sine at pi over 2. Sine will be the y value. Pi over 2. Sine is y. So it would just be 1. Positive 1. And the last one, tangent at pi. Well, I know it's going to be a y over x. So if I go all the way over here to pi, y over x is going to be that 0 over negative 1. See that? 0 over negative 1. Well, 0 over anything is going to be 0. All right? So, for those that we have gone over all the answers, but for those at home, you know, let me write down the correct answer right here on all of these. It was square root of 2 over 2, square root of 2 over 2, negative 1, negative 1/2, negative 1/2, undefined, negative square root of 2 over 2, 1, and it was 0. All right? Those were our answers right there so you can see them visually. So, but we use the unit circle. Sine is y, cosine is x, and tangent is y over x.